G'day, Joe Stefan here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the newest member of my editing setup, the Asus ProArt PA32QCV 6K monitor. Asus did send me this monitor to test and review, and yes, I do get to keep it. However, they don't get a say in the final video and no money exchanged hands. Everything you're about to hear is based on my own experience using this monitor over the past month. I'm running this monitor with my 16-inch MacBook Pro M2 connected via a single USB-C cable, and today I'll show you the monitor, how I've got it set up, the software I recommend installing, and whether I think it's worth considering. The Asus ProArt PA32QCV is a 32-inch 6K monitor designed for creative professionals. The first thing you'll notice is just how sharp everything looks. The photos look fantastic, text is incredibly crisp, and having a 32-inch display gives you loads of room for Lightroom, Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, or whatever software you use. But what's really interested me though was the Mac compatibility. Asus has clearly designed this monitor with Mac users in mind, and that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to get my hands on this puppy. The colors are very close to my MacBook Pro display, and that gives me confidence when I'm editing photos or color grading video. Now, before we get into the setup, there's one thing worth mentioning. Occasionally when I wake up my MacBook Pro and turn on the monitor can remain asleep. From what I've found, this seems to be a known issue between some MacBook setups and external displays, including some Asus monitors. But it's pretty simple to fix. If it happens, just switch the monitor off and back on again, and everything reconnects straight away. Outside of that, the monitor has been smooth and reliable to use, and I've had no other issues. The other thing I love is the simplicity. One USB-C cable from my MacBook Pro to the monitor handles everything. Display connection, data, and charging, no docks, no extra cables, just plug it in and get shit done. Yeah, I like that. The monitor does come with a stand in the box, which is actually pretty good. For my setup though, I've mounted it to a desky monitor arm, which gives me a bit more flexibility and frees up some desk space. At the time of filming this review, the recommended retail price in Australia is $2,499. Some would say that's pretty steep. I think it's an important point because this monitor sits in a category that many Mac users will be familiar with. A lot of people looking at a display like this are probably also considering Apple's Studio display. See, what I like is that we're finally starting to see more premium options enter the market for Mac users. And Asus has put together a very compelling, competitive alternative that deserves consideration. At least I think so anyway. We love options, right? Alright, let's jump in and set this monitor up properly. First things first. Press the joystick on the front bottom right of the monitor. Navigate to ProArt preset. Select M Model P3. Now, this is the color mode Asus created specifically for Mac users, and it's the setting I recommend starting with. Basically gives you one of the closest matches to your MacBook display. Step 2, we're going to adjust the brightness. This will depend on your room and personal preference. Don't automatically set it to maximum brightness. Set it somewhere comfortable for your eyes and your workspace. I'm in a controlled workspace right now. I'm in a studio, so I generally keep mine at 280, and that's perfect for me. But have a play around and see what works best for you. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is leave the remaining color setting alone. The monitor is factory calibrated and looks excellent out of the box. Unless you have a specific reason to change something, I'd leave it as is. So once you've made those changes to the monitor, jump into the Mac OS. Open up System Settings, go down to Displays, select the Asus monitor. Check your scaling settings. Personally, I use the default setting because it gives me the most workspace. If things look too small, simply choose one of the larger scaling options. I guess it depends on how blind you are. So far for me, I'm not too blind, but that might change in the near future. Who knows? Check your display arrangement. If you're using multiple displays, make sure they are positioned correctly so moving your mouse between screens feels natural. I know I like going from left to right, but it's totally up to you. Leave the Asus color profile selected, Again, Asus has already done the hard work here, and for most users, there's no need to start changing color profiles. If you're doing critical color work, consider turning True Tone off. This keeps your display appearance more consistent while editing photos and video. So at this point, your monitor should already be looking fan-freaking-tastic. But there's one more thing I'd recommend. Head over to the Asus website, download and install the Display Widget Center. It's free and honestly makes using the monitor and changing the settings much easier. So once you've downloaded and installed the application, it basically allows you to control many of the settings directly from your desktop. You can adjust brightness, switch color modes, change monitor settings, manage presets, and generally make day-to-day adjustments much faster. It's not essential, but once you've used it, you'll probably keep it installed. So this is exactly what I want in a monitor. The colors are very close to my MacBook Pro, the screen is incredibly sharp, the extra workspace is awesome, and I feel comfortable editing both photos and video. Now that's probably the biggest compliment I can give it. I trust what I'm seeing on screen, especially when you got trust issues. That's huge. Did I just say that? I did. So would I recommend the Asus ProArt PA32QCV? Absolutely. If you're a photographer, videographer, content creator, or someone looking for a premium monitor that integrates well with a MacBook setup, this is definitely one worth looking at. That 6K resolution is sexy, the color accuracy is excellent, the Mac integration is impressive, single cable setup keeps everything simple, and it's great to finally have another strong option in the market for Mac users who are looking for a professional display. If you've got any questions about the monitor or my setup, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Remember, behave and make good decisions. Peace.